with a K.
That's my God-given name. God gave it to me when I woke up in its womb.
PP. I love PP. I love to go PP on the weekdays.
Slutty rhyme style.
I'm trying to teach you how to get accidentally punched in the face.
Uh-oh. Another women's issue.
Hello, friends. We still don't have a catchy intro for this podcast, but we do have a fire hazard outside, which is all of California. So this episode's going to sound a little drier and more coughing than usual due to the world burning literally around us. I'm Emily Pineapple.
I'm Forrest, the keeper of the Canon, and, we didn't start the fire.
No, we did not.
It's been burning since the world's been turning.
Well, it's been burning for a couple years at least.
Yeah, but that's as long as my memory goes.
So this is the podcast where we scream into the abyss of death.
And it screams back.
Yes, and it screams back a name, and that name is Clare O'Kane.
Thank you, Abyss of Death. The Clare O'Kane is...
Clare O'Kane.
No, I heard you the first time. It's funny you screamed that, Abyss of Death, because Clare O'Kane's also hosting Ghoooooul Train this Wednesday, which is episode 209 of CGP.
Watch Ghoooooul Train for eternal
Watch.
Being not terrified by the abyss of death.
That's right. You too can participate in the Eternal Dance Party on October 30th, 2019 at 11 p.m. Eastern.
With Clare O'Kane.
With Clare O'Kane.
She is also going to have on our cast. Oh, yeah. And this is where we talk about CGP.
Yes, this is where we talk about who's hosting CGP and all the great stuff they've done before CGP.
Yeah, this is the podcast where we talk about the show and the podcast. We're not the real Chris Gethard Show podcast. No. On the real Chris Gethard Show podcast, you can hear Clare O'Kane and Chris Gethard and Carmen Christopher and Justin Linville.
Claire's been on 3 episodes of the real podcast, and they're all very funny.
Awesome.
Yes.
And I'm so excited to be talking to her about her because she is a San Francisco native.
Yes.
Well, she's a Bay Area native. Well, but she was in the San Francisco comedy scene with people that we actually saw do San Francisco comedy before they all moved other places, some closer to the fire and some further away.
Yeah, she was one of those names I heard and people I saw when I was just getting into stand-up in SF. So I'm super happy that Clare has made it onto CGP. Like when Geth first posted that photo of all the people at that, I think it was a cafe where they all got around a table and talked about CGP.
I think it was a pizza place.
Yes, it was. But when they all got together, I was so psyched that Clare O'Kane was in that photo. I remember just being blown away because I never expected.
I remember you told me that and I'm like, that sounds awesome. I don't know who that person is, but now I do. And I'm hella excited to talk about her and all of the awesome things that she's done. Her contributors, her cast that's going to be on CGP this Wednesday. You will see them this Wednesday or later on YouTube.
Or they are doing great work behind the scenes in a couple cases. Oh,
yeah, that's very true. We have William Bottini, who is an artist living in New York City and has worked with Geth-adjacent folks like the Screaming Females, MTV12, and more.
There's also Snake, who's part of the band Snakeskin, and Snake has a video. Snakeskin has a video with Clare O'Kane in it that we're going to talk about a little bit later.
Excited.
And then I think also based on the Instagram post that Clare posted, I think William and Snake worked on the theme for Ghoooooul Train.
We also have Kate Sweeney, who directed multiple CGP episodes, including The Chris Gethard Show with Robbie Hoffman and The Great Night Show with Carmen Christopher, and also directed the Snakeskin video, Alone in a Crowded Room, which we're going to talk about. Women directors, fuck yes, more ladies in creative spots behind the camera and in front of them.
I agree. And
it's a
then
brave new world.
Our last member.
And it's burning down. I don't know that God is pleased.
The last, well,
I think we've made a terrible mistake. You're all going to witness my radicalization.
If you hear that, that's just people upstairs. Apologies.
Apologies, just taking out their trash.
You know where we haven't made a mistake? or not that we did, where Claire didn't make a mistake, is booking Fat Tony to be the DJ of Ghoooooul Train. I don't know why I said we, like we had anything to do with it, but I'm very excited for this dance party.
Artists cannot exist without an ecosystem, and we are part of that. And all fans should feel that they are part of the art that they are creating by being fans and support their artists.
Definitely support your artists. Support your local artists.
Your local artists.
And other artists.
And support the artists that you love by giving them money or talking about them and sharing their links with lots of people. Because that's how it goes.
Yes.
So the bio of Clare O'Kane from her website is Clare O'Kane is an actor, comedian, and writer from San Jose, California. She has performed in the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, Bridgetown Comedy Festival, San Francisco Sketch Fest, Outside Lands, and many other festivals around the country. She's also opened for the band Jawbreaker on their most recent reunion tour. That's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
She has been described as sarcastic and half Asian. Claire has written for SpongeBob SquarePants, one of the best animated things fuck nuts ever, appeared on Viceland, and is 1/3 of the sketch group Blessed. They have a couple of very funny videos, none of which have gone viral until now. For the 0 people who listen to this podcast, tell your friends. Claire is frequently cast in short films and is usually paid in hummus. I read that as paid by humans, and I'm like, that's a really funny Claire line. But no, instead it's the sad reality of being an artist.
When she's not sneezing, Claire travels around the country to perform stand-up comedy and sees the day or whatever. She currently lives in Brooklyn, New York.
Can you tell who wrote that?
Claire did.
It was Claire.
That was all Claire.
It was all Claire. Additional information we have about her is that prior to Talk-a-Doodle-Doo, Claire joined Geth on Instagram Live from her toilet.
She was so funny.
She was fucking
on that
hilarious.
live stream. It was great. Were you going to say something?
Oh, I was just going to keep going down the list, but go for it.
Some of her podcast appearances include on the Podcast for Laundry with Brett Davis, where they did a cover of Shaggy's hit It Wasn't Me. Or like a style parody. Like they Weird Al'd it to be about laundry. And then she also was on Deep Night with Dale, which is a talk show. And in the interview, they talk about her album, San Jose's Tan Vibe, and The Occult.
Yep.
It's a really good interview. You should definitely check that out.
Yeah, she was a fixture of the San Francisco stand-up scene and is currently married to Nick Nanny, who appeared on Enchanted Pumice and is in her album, Let It Be.
And then, as mentioned, she starred on the Viceland documentary series Flophouse, which highlighted America's comedy houses.
Which apparently we have one of in San
We have
Francisco. We have two comedy houses?
We have two. Two houses are highlighted in that show. There's the Sylvan House, which is Sylvan Productions' house. And then there's the Convent, where Kate Willett lived. The giant church that became an artist living space.
Not the cult that she joined for a short period of time that was focused on female orgasms?
No, it's not that one.
Well, there's a cult in San Francisco that's focused on female orgasms, which most people will be like, yeah, of course, cults are all over San Francisco. That's what it's known for. But nay, friends, it is no longer known for that. Now it's known for startups.
It's a wonderful throwback to San Francisco of old.
Her frequent collaborators are Megan Keister, who are another member of Blessed, the co-host of the podcast Where I'm Calling From.
With Claire,
which I'll talk about. And she introduced Claire on Claire's album.
And then Allison Stevenson is also a member of Blessed.
Those are the 3 members of Blessed.
Yes.
Yeah. And we have 15 things that we love about Claire. We have many more than 15 things, but these are 15 specific things that there are links to.
And there are other specific things even we love, but there's just so many. She's so funny.
That's true. She is in a lot of stuff, and she's in a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
She's on a lot of fucking podcasts. She's been doing stuff for a long time. She's been in LA and New York, so I think that ups her the amount of shit she's been on.
Yeah, like we're not even getting into some of just the podcast appearances because she's also really good on a Terrified episode.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's the Who's Your God?
Oh, my God.
I
She's
think is
so
what it's
good on
called.
Who's Your God.
She's great on that show. I'll link those in the show notes as well.
Yeah. A lot of them are like comedians. I really had this idea in my head that like, podcasts of like comedians talking to other comedians about shit. Like, wow, that's so blasé. Like, that's so overdone. But now I'm listening to them all to like learn about these hosts, and I'm like, oh wow, I really like these podcasts. This is really cool.
It's really fun. I'm still, I think, more of a fan of that format than a lot of people. But I think what's great about those sort of podcasts is they all have they are comedians talking, but there's like an interesting hook that guides it towards other conversation topics that you don't normally get.
Yeah.
Like, what are you afraid of with Terrified? Mm-hmm. And then like religion with
and spirituality.
Who's Your God? And spirituality with Who's Your God? And the occult.
And yeah, I mean, I think that they do a pretty good job. So the first thing that we love about Planned Parenthood is a bit
about Clare O'Kane.
Did I say Planned Parenthood? Yeah. Well, she loves many things about Planned Parenthood in this bit about Planned Parenthood.
It's a really fun story.
Chris Gethard sort of promoted it on the latest episode, talking about how she says she loves pee-pee. She loves to pee-pee. I put a clip of it in the intro. And it's really fun. She talks about her stories of like going to Planned Parenthood, of her first borscht, and it's awesome. It's awesome hearing her. She has a really funny way of talking about, quote, women's stories and, quote, women's issues, that adds a lot of fun to it. That adds a lot of like silly nonsense to it. Like, pee-pee. I like pee-pee. And she does a lot of things with language that I really like. She uses a lot of like slang terms that absolutely zero humans have used until she said them, and then I started saying them. And they're so much fun. They're so much fun. Borscht for abortion. Yeah. Fuck yes. Pee-pee. Liking to pee-pee.
I think that definitely contributes to the thing Gethard has talked about on multiple occasions about how she's like the coolest comedian he knows.
She really is.
Because she does, with her jokes, start slang.
Yeah.
And most comedians don't do that.
No. She's like Shakespeare.
Yeah.
But she's cooler than Shakespeare, because Shakespeare, like, I feel like kind of sucked.
And Shakespeare didn't skateboard.
Shakespeare did not skateboard. Absolutely did not skateboard. But yeah, it's a really good bit. It's called When Planned Parenthood's Lobby Plays Cheaper by the Dozen, which is a true thing. And it's, Comedy Central stand-up put it up because she's brilliant and Comedy Central saw that.
Absolutely. I'm glad that they recognized her greatness.
They don't recognize all of the greatnesses that they should, but often they do. And we appreciate that.
Our second thing that we want to highlight is Let It Be, which is Clare's album. And
it was released by A Special Thing.
Yes, which is a wonderful record label.
And you can get it on vinyl. Ooh.
Yeah, you can get it on vinyl directly from A Special Thing, or you can listen to it on Spotify or buy it digitally, or just, there's a few places. But you should definitely check it out in the medium of your choice because it's a really great album.
It really is. It's really fun. She has a lot of awesome stories, and she does a fun thing that mixes both like personal stories and emotional realness.
Yeah.
She talks about her parents' deaths.
Yeah.
Both of them have passed on. She talks a lot about death because a lot of fuckers have died in her life. And I really appreciate that, honestly. Like, fuck. She really mixes like that emotional honesty and depth and like real sort of like the psychological revelation version of comedy where they tell a joke and then you're like, damn.
Yeah.
But also just funny stories.
Yeah, like there's also that's
funny,
the thing.
Like bullshit.
Yeah, as much as there is the depth to it, there's also there's also a silliness to some of the jokes that I really appreciate.
Like Nick Nanny joins her on a track called The iPhone Sketch That Bombs.
That part was really good. Also her nude modeling joke track is very funny. I'm not going to
my
give away any
God.
of the punchlines, but you should definitely check it
Oh
out.
my God, about being a nude model
Yes.
in college, which that's another time when she really uses funny language.
Yeah.
And I have started using that and people start staring at me. It's like, suck me, fuck me, sign me up.
Oh, yeah.
Which she says, but I have started saying that when I want to do a thing. And people are like, what the actual fuck, Emily? And I'm not going to stop because it's awesome.
The Bazinga track is also a really funny story about, and she's mentioned the premise on a podcast, so I'm not going to do more than that, but I'll mention that it's about her ex-boyfriend winning $1 million on a Big Bang Theory slot
Fucking
machine.
right? Fucking
Which is
right.
apparently a true story.
No, it's absolutely true. She's talked about it multiple places.
Yeah.
Her ex-boyfriend, who she moved to LA for.
Yeah.
She moved to LA to be with this person and hated LA. You can tell it in her voice on the Terrified podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I lived in LA. I know that voice. It's just sad. LA's fine, I guess.
Especially if any of you, dear listeners, live in Los Angeles, then it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, but I understand if you want to leave, it's also going to burn down pretty soon.
Look, when you live in glass houses, you can't throw stones.
Hey, we're on a bit of a peninsula.
That's true.
Our city sucks, but it will not burn. The third thing we want to talk about is Blessed, her sketch comedy group with Allison Stevenson and Megan Keister. It was a weekly comedy show, and there's a couple of the sketches online.
A lot of them are online.
Yeah.
There's double digits of sketches online. We specifically are going to highlight two, but you should watch
The first
more
one
than
is,
that.
I fucking love this one. I've
Yeah.
watched it like 3 times. What do you remember about the 90s? It's done like VH1.
Yeah.
Like remembering the 90s or whatever the fuck those are called. Where, you know, it's just a bunch of like comedians.
I think it's I Heart the 90s.
I heart the 90s. So they share their favorite 90s memories, from Pogs to Corn Pops to Nerf guns.
Yes.
Jake Fogelnest appears.
Yeah, I didn't expect to see Jake Fogelnest pop up at all.
But it's really, really fun. They talk about things like how Pops makes her think of her father.
Yeah. I love the darkness that's peppered throughout the video, because like they do a very good job of gradually like ratcheting up the darkness.
Yeah.
Because at first you're like, oh, one of these people's dark. And
Yeah.
then you go, oh no, oh no.
And she gets credited as a couple of fun things throughout, because, you know, they have a lower thirds. She's credited as Bone Collector, Pet Rescuer, Big Muff, Freak Bitch, which I want just under me at all times to identify myself, Slender Man, and Probably Asian.
The book club sketch was another one I really liked, where they're reading V for Vendetta for the book club and start speculating about the lessons they should take from this book and what kind of groups they should form.
You know, possibly using the iconic mask.
Yeah. It's just something.
Just something, just a little something.
But the payoff is really good. So
It's fucking great. Like, she's really good at physical comedy.
Yeah.
She does a lot with her body that, like, her album is really great to listen to, but watching her stand up adds a whole nother element. And I think that she knows when she's being filmed.
Oh, she's definitely
Yeah.
very good with physicality.
Because some of them, she'll, like, come on stage and she's like, hi, like, hi, like, hi. And then, like, randomly starts lunging.
Yeah.
Like, doing lunges just on the stage. Like, being, like, so confident in her awkwardness that it's just, like, I love it. And it warms the audience up immediately. The fourth thing we want to talk about is Talking to Myself in the Park, a
I
podcast
love this show.
I haven't listened to.
Okay, so I listened to 2 episodes of this, and it's very funny. The premise is exactly what it is, except sometimes Claire talks to other people in a park. The first one I listened to is the most recent episode where Claire talks to Joe Pera, who played Zero Fucks Boyd on the Chris Gethard show, but it was raining. So she talked to him in his apartment and made him play park noises in the background so that the ambiance would match. And their energies like complement each other super well.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
And they talk about how so you need one of the jokes on the podcast is you need quiet people in the world because the world would be full of Nick Nannies talking about poop if everyone was a loud person. And Claire says that, and I just started dying. And then there's another episode where she interviewed Solomon Giorgio outside on a very cold day in Maria Hernandez Park.
I love Solomon Giorgio.
Solomon Giorgio is great. So when I saw that the next episode was Solomon Giorgio, I was just like, well, I have to listen to this because he's amazing. Yeah.
The fifth thing that we wanted to talk about is a podcast I have listened to, Where I'm Calling From, where Clare O'Kane and Megan Keister record their phone conversations as they just catch up over the phone. And they're often in super different places because they're like comedians and they go places.
And they live on opposite coasts.
That's true. Megan's in LA?
Yeah. Megan's still in LA.
Oh, poor Megan.
But I love that I love that it really is just them recording their phone conversations. Like occasionally they'll reference the fact that there's listeners. But for the most part it's a conversation. It's not like a polished show type of conversation, you know?
Like it sounds like they are on the phone.
And they comport themselves as if on a phone call, not as if formally hosting a show often, which I like. You know? Mm-hmm. Like there's not like a formal intro or outro. It's just like, we're on the phone now. I have to hang up. I'm about to lose signal. And then it ends. And it reminded me of Beautiful Anonymous and 12-Hour Day. Beautiful Anonymous because the phone call thing. But 12-Hour Day because it's like you're getting a window into these two great friends' friendship in a very unvarnished, real way, which I love.
Number 6 is the special without Brett Davis.
Yes.
Like many of the CGP hosts. She was on it a bunch of times. But we watched 2 of them and she was fucking great. The first episode was BBQ where Jerry Balducci, Brad Howe, throws a barbecue party to meet his new neighbors and learn the town's secrets. So, of course, he's, random characters walk in and are hilarious. But she plays a hayseed musician named Jar Jar.
Yes.
Who has more than a little bit of racism.
Yeah.
Tucked in there.
A little bit. I mean, as hayseed musicians do.
Yeah.
She's hilarious. She has some beautifully cornball banjo-based humor in it. And the character make sure that you know that they haven't washed their butthole since 9/11.
Nope. Not at all.
Which I feel like that joke, her ability to just like sell that joke captures her humor so well. Because there's like, it's this like weirdly dark, gross out joke. It's like the butthole and 9/11 all in one joke with like solid character work. Mm-hmm. It's just like, of course she could sell this guy.
She also appeared on the episode Late Mike, which was hosted by Colin Burgess and Nick Nanny of CGP and her life.
And matrimony fame.
And matrimony fame.
They've also posted some photos of like some of the official wedding photos, and they're really funny.
Joe Rumrell and Francesca De Uva, who have also both been on CGP, were there. And she played a character named Squinty, who's brother of Blinky.
Blinky was another character on the show who blinked a lot, and Squinty squints a lot.
Mm-hmm. Because they were just let out of the basement.
Yes.
I assume they were in darkness for a long time.
They were very funny. They had a bike helmet for some reason. It was great. Number 7 is Dirty Haiku. The Dirty Haiku were performed as part of the Bay Area comedy show Tourette's Without Regrets, which is an underground performance art show that bills itself as the Fight Club of underground art.
And yeah, it's dirty haikus. It's dirty haiku battles. It's like a roast battle, but your roasts have to be haikus.
Haiku-like.
Haiku-like. She holds most to the haiku form, I think, to the betterment of her jokes.
It definitely makes them stronger when, like, given that the joke is that they're haiku, holding to the haiku format understandably helps a lot.
Yeah. So we watched 2 of those.
Yes.
It's her versus Dirty Mike McGee, which was great.
It was great. They were both pretty good in that one.
And then Claire versus Andrew
Roberts. Let me double check.
Look, she won that one
She
so
did.
hard. She won it so fucking
Andrew
hard.
Roberts.
Oh my God. So my favorite one, can I just give my favorite one?
I mean, I think it's fine to give your
Yeah.
favorite one.
Red is my pussy and white is your face while I make your big balls blue.
That one was so good.
I kind of want that on my tombstone. It's like the perfect length.
That would be great. Oh, I love it.
It's shit like that. And
Yeah.
like they're also like dissing the other person.
Yeah.
She does the best job of dissing. It's hard to diss her because she just takes it all in stride. She's very yes and.
Yeah. And I mean, I think, I'm not going to harp on this. I just think that also gets to Gethard's thing about how she's the coolest comedian.
Yeah.
Is someone who is as effortlessly cool as Claire is really hard to roast. Because as you say, they're just like, yeah, okay.
She's like, cool. Yeah, I
Like
do fuck my dad.
Yeah, you're never, yeah. I remember. Because you're never going to throw her off or
No.
get her flustered. She's just like, meh.
Number 8.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God. FUPA, F-U-P-A, which is Clare O'Kane and Allison Stevenson of Blessed.
Yes.
Sharing with us the Female University of Pickup Artistry. FUPA.
This was really good.
Her name is Cunt with a K.
Yes.
That's the first clip I used. And it's fucking amazing. It's an incredible satire on pickup artists. They have a lot of really fun things that I'm going to use in my life now, like get your clip bit off.
Oh, yeah.
Get that pole up in your hole. Gotta get that pole in your hole. And it's fucking amazing.
I loved that one.
Yeah, they do a lot of like, which of these texts is going to get you laid and like ridiculous shit.
Oh, yeah,
It's
the
almost
quizzes-
very sorry. It's a quiz.
The quizzes were that part was really fun.
Yeah.
Number 9 is Sunglasses, which is Claire and David Bory, who's another SF comic who we just love.
Yeah, we're a little obsessed. He's a favorite in this household.
Yes. In this video, Claire and David just keep lowering their sunglasses and saying non sequiturs. Like,
Just random shit.
like cool Pino, because that's what you do when you're cool. You just like
Yeah.
lower your sunglasses and say a witty, pithy phrase.
Oh yeah.
And it's great.
Yeah. Things like sexy Ryan Styles.
Sexy Ryan Styles was my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's the thing. It gets more and more
Ridiculous.
absurd and like
Not without my stepson. I think that's a David Bory
it's a
one.
Bory one. Oh, definitely.
Bory's amazing.
I love Bory and I love Claire, and so I'm so glad that they collaborated. Like when I was looking up Claire on YouTube, I saw that and was just like, Claire and David Bory?
Yeah, you like shouted.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great. Number 10, Silent Greats, featuring Clare O'Kane, Anna Saragina.
Who I'm also psyched about because I saw Anna a lot
Yeah, right?
when she was here, and Kyle Mazzono, who I also saw a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a series of silent films. Like filmed in the style of silent films. Like it looks like a silent film. They move like people in silent films. There is some like class A clowning.
And it was written by Claire and Anna Saragina, who was also a part of the business for a while, which was an SF thing here that I think still is in LA.
Yeah, stand up.
Yeah, stand-up show.
And so there's 3 of these. Claire and Anna are fat and stubby, and Kyle Mazzono is ham.
Those are so perfectly like
Right?
20s star nicknames.
Fat and stubby and ham. Yeah, they're really, really fun. A lot of great physical comedy.
They do
Lots
the
of
like
sight gags.
Steamboat Willie arm thing where their
Yeah.
arms like are up and down at like a certain pace, like pop, 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 pop. You can't see me, but I'm doing it right now.
It's like every second has to be like super visually
Yeah.
interesting because it's a silent film.
Yeah.
Oops.
And I
Getting too excited.
too animated.
Too animated.
And I love how I love the modern edge to them, and when like the racism of the 20s
some fun
starts
racism.
getting like referenced and engaged with by them, because
Making fun of Poles.
as a
Irish.
part Polish person, I was like, oh, my people are being mocked. Finally, we're remembered.
Finally.
It's been since the 80s
Jesus Christ.
when we were the blonde joke recipients.
Number 11, Phone
Yes.
Story, which was written and directed by Graham Mason. This is so good, and Carmen Christopher is in it.
Yeah.
And Gary Richardson is in it, and he's like the main guy. And it's so good. It's like, essentially, it's them reading out things that they would be texting to each other throughout this story. The plot is that Ed, did something terrible at a party. He got really, really drunk, and he remembers yelling at his ex-girlfriend,
Yeah.
but he doesn't remember anything else. And so it's his quest to figure out what the fuck he did. And yeah, texting his friends, and also like his mom is sick.
Yeah. It's just really good. It's just like it's a really good short film.
Yeah, it's a cool way to like, it's a cool storytelling
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, and it's like I've seen people try to do the like I'm doing my short, but it's on the phone thing. But this pulls it off better than anything else I've seen by using it as like a frame of reference for us. But then
Yeah.
commit like the way everything's framed. It's like it's just a great short.
Yeah. And Claire plays Coral. Coral, not Quirrell.
No, Coral. Like
I was hearing it as Quirrell, like Professor Quirrell, who had Voldemort on the back of his head.
no.
And I'm like, that's a really interesting name for a character who has nothing to do with Harry Potter. Okay. It's Coral,
yes.
who was Carmen Christopher's friend at the party. Work
Coworker,
friend.
yeah.
Coworker. Yeah.
And then number 12 is Together, a short documentary. Claire made this little short documentary.
She's not in it.
No, but
she made it.
She's
which is
shooting
cool.
it. She shot it, edited it, everything. But it's about her two friends, Naomi and Matt, who are a couple who improvise together. And it's mostly an interview with them talking about how they got into improv, how they met. And it's a really cute little look into their lives as improvisers.
And it was cool seeing her doing storytelling in that form, because that's the format. It's, it's different from doing a stand-up set.
Yeah.
It is visual and cutting and stuff. And
it sounded like
it was very cute.
Based on the description, it sounded like that was like she was pretty new to all of it when she did that. And so it's like it's nice. It's cool. It's cool seeing her experiment and do something like that. And it's sweet. Like you can like feel her affection for her friends in it in a really nice way.
Number 13 is Falafel Babies, Claire's band that she was in the early 2010s.
I love their music so much.
Her bandmate was Peter V. Hernandez. And it's just chill ass stuff. It's like chill ass guitar riffs and like really simple vocals on top with like this chill ass, like, I love it.
It's so good.
I love it. I'd like put it on to drive.
Right?
Just be like, fuck yeah, I'm a cool bitch.
Oh yeah, it's like great chill driving with the windows down music.
Yeah.
And I love that the first song is about how much they love Steve Martin.
Yeah, it's fun lyrics.
Because I too love Steve Martin, so it was really #relatable.
Yeah, like fun little lyrics, fun shorter song. It's like chill ass punk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because there's the distortion on some of it too. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's like punk if like all the people in the band took a Xanax.
Yeah, that's a really good description.
Number 14, House Bitch. On this episode of Mary Houlihan's Little Podcast, Mary is joined by model, film critic, skateboarder, astronaut, guitarist, slash his hat, Clare O'Kane, to talk about The Real Housewives of Vacaville.
And Vacaville, in case you don't know, because why would you, is a town north of San Francisco, which is most well known for Nut Tree, which is a massive shopping center that you can see from the freeway. No.
A town known for its strip mall. No, I know
But
this.
it's totally true.
I know this, but I still think that it's a funny, like, the town's known for their strip malls. There are towns known for their strip malls all over America.
Well, because it was apparently like a historically significant, it was like the largest like shopping center west of somewhere. Like it was like the Nut
It's a
Tree.
historically significant strip mall,
Yeah.
I'll have you know.
Like I'm gonna look up Nut Tree right now because it actually is, and it's like a Nut Tree Plaza.
They talk about the Jelly Belly factory, which is also near there. They talk about the just a lot of fun stuff. They do a lot of fun, like just talking like about normal stuff, and then they go into like heavy improvisation about this show, which does not exist, except that it totally does. And yeah.
No, it's significant now because it's now the largest planned
Nut Tree.
development. The Nut Tree. It was a simple roadside stand that got out of hand.
It sounds like America. We just wanted like 10 people to live here, and suddenly everyone else was dead.
It has a post office. Nixon visited it. Okay, it is actually famous. That's interesting.
Yep, Nut Tree. Well, it's a really fun podcast. Mary
Yeah.
Houlihan's little podcast, always a winner, but really fun to hear her talking with
I liked
Claire.
the joke. You may have mentioned this while I was looking up Nut Tree. Did you talk about the Jelly Belly factory
Yes.
joke? Okay,
Yeah, I did.
I loved that.
And then 15, our 15th thing, which circles us back to CGP.
Yes.
Snakeskin, which is the band fronted by Snake, wrote a song called Alone in a Crowded Room, and the music video features Claire.
Yes.
Claire lip syncs and dances with a big fuzzy hat, and she's wearing Heelys. And she's alone in a crowded room. She's like lip syncing to this thing. And like the couches are moving around, and there's like birds and shit. And you see people like running around in green morph suits, and then they disappear because they're just morphed out, you know?
Yeah.
And then you just see like the bird going around or like the couch moving around. And also there's pop-ups throughout the whole video.
Yeah, it's all
information.
It's all done pop-up video style, which as a child of the 90s, I loved.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, like this song was written by Snake in high school, and like Snake is a female-fronted band in New York City. And did you know that snakes aren't the only animals that shed their skin?
And Clare O'Kane, fun fact number 1, Claire has never done cocaine.
Fun fact number 2, Mark Maron gave her a ride home once.
The pop-ups are very funny.
They're fucking hilarious. They are absolutely probably written by her and like Nick Nanny.
And yeah, Brett Davis being in it
Oh yeah, Brett Davis is just fucking in it.
as well, and Nick Nanny's in it. And
There's like little arrows that like
Yeah.
point to people, and then like as the video like comes to more of a close, like the frame moves out because it's all like on this like TV screen basically. And it's just pointing to all these fucking people. It's like, this person's the like record producer, and like this is the fishing pole for stunts.
Yeah.
Or for
props. I think it was like the prop fishing pole.
special effects.
Special effect fishing pole. That's what it was.
Yeah, and I on the second watch through, I'm like, oh, cause she's alone in the crowded
Yeah.
room, cause they
Yeah.
all disappear, cause
Yeah.
they have the morphs and the things. Fun fact: this video was an original idea. It was not based on anything. I learned that in the pop-ups.
But it was directed by Kate Sweeney, who will be directing Ghoooooul Train.
And Snake helped her write.
I think Snake's involved
Snake
with
is
Ghoooooul
involved.
Train. I don't know if it's the theme song. I think it's the theme song based on the Instagram post, but
She could just be there singing.
she could just be part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are our 15 things.
Yeah.
We're hella excited for Ghoooooul Train.
I've been singing the Ghoooooul Train theme song constantly, and I don't even have all of it. I just have like a snippet from Instagram stories.
Everyone get your costumes ready to dance in your
Yes.
living rooms to Ghoooooul Train. This is awesome. I'm so excited for this.
I can't wait for Ghoooooul Train.
What do you expect to see?
So I expect that that Claire's Conehead character may be Don Cornelius, like Don Cornelius. And I just love it. I expect to see a line of dancers, probably monsters. dancing.
I expect that the entire audience is going to be dancing with them.
Well, no, I mean, I think it's just gonna be a giant dance party. Yeah, but I think at some point they'll do the like Soul Train thing where you have like a line, like the crowd part, and then a line of dancers coming towards the camera and then rejoining the line. What do you think will happen?
Penises.
Oh, like monsters? Like one-eyed monsters?
One-eyed purple monsters. No, just like penises. Just disembodied human
So
penises.
people dressed as penises?
Disembodied human penises.
At what scale? Like human scale or like normal scale?
Any scale you want, friend. We have all the scales.
Then we can't prove you wrong because maybe there's like microscopic
Peni.
disembodied peni all about the studio.
I mean, that could be true of anywhere.
It's true.
We could all be covered in disembodied microscopic peni right now.
Yeah, we have no way of knowing.
None at all?
No way.
Yeah, so that's our episode on Clare O'Kane. Check her out on the day before Halloween, Wednesday.
Oh, All
October
Hallows
30th.
Eve.
All Hallows Eve. Check her out. Check her out on YouTube. Thank you so much for listening to us.
Check her out on Twitter at Baby's First Gun.
Oh, yeah.
And then at Clare O'Kane on Instagram.
Baby's First Gun. I love that. But yeah. Have a great pre-Halloween,
Have a great pre-Halloween.
friends.
If I told you that I ate pussy for the first time just 3 months ago, would you believe me?